So today we are talking all the nerdy things about fan data, why artists need it, how to collect it. Guys, this might sound scary, but I promise you it's not, and it is so valuable. You're gonna really wanna make sure to pay attention today. Take some notes if you're brand new artist or if you're working at a label. Make sure to think of your fans as a business, and you wanna make sure to think of them as a whole fan funnel. So where's that fan first? Hearing your song to then how do you bring them into your fan base and how you monetize them. So we are jumping into all things fan data today. To start off, we are going to talk about why. I think when you hear the word data, everyone gets like kind of creeped out because you just like think about your data being stolen, which is not the case for music and for artists. And the big thing about fan data is it is helping you make decisions. That is the number one reason why you're wanting to collect the data, so you can make better decisions and then so you can directly contact your fans. So today you might already have an Instagram account, you might have a TikTok account, but if TikTok decides to shut down tomorrow, how do you reach your fans? And so this is why we want to collect the direct contact information of your fan base. We'll go into all the details of the types of data collection, but that is the main reason why. So you want direct connection, and then you want to be able to make better decisions off of that. One of the decisions that you can make off of your fan data is where to play shows. So if you are collecting anything like a zip code or an address, that is going to give you a better idea of where you should book your next show or how big of a show or big of a venue you should book. So that is going to be one decision you can make. Another decision you can make based off of your fan data is, okay, who is your average fan? Is it a 60-year-old man? Is it a 18-year-old female? And where they spend their time online and in person is going to be very different. So this will help you make decisions to figure out, okay, should I be, doing a partnership with Cracker Barrel or with like Forever 21? There's a very big difference in the audience you think of going to those two places. So those are just a few of the reasons why fan data is so important. So let's dive deep into the types of fan data.
You're probably wondering, okay, so I need this fan data, but how do I collect it? You can obviously collect this online, but in person as well. And I feel like a lot of artists don't really capitalize on in person as much as like online, and this can be on tours. Obviously take advantage of your merch booth. You can definitely capitalize off of that and collect data, and even maybe sneak in like a little discount in exchange for an email,
or a sticker.
Super easy. The fans are probably already going to buy merch anyways, so you might as well just have it there for them to put their email in. Before any album release, you can capitalize on fan data. A good reason to collect more fan data, so you're not just like randomly asking them like, hey, put your email address in, like, for what? And then any type of event that you do for your fans, or even any giveaway or contest, you can definitely have like a QR code or an email sign up or a text message system in place for your fans, and you can collect all of that data and then use it to your advantage later when you need to reach your fans. So as for the types of fan data that you can collect, obviously phone numbers are a big thing. I feel like recently the big sort of trend in fan engagement has been text messaging systems, where fans text a number and it signs them up through a third-party app, and they get to receive texts from their favorite artists.
You also really have to make sure with these platforms that you're receiving your fan data. A lot of them do not give you the actual fan data that you are collecting. If they don't give you the fan data, I would say do not use it. Find a different tool.
So that's one of the pieces of data you can collect, obviously. And then you can also, depending on what company you use for pre-save links, you can sometimes get this data, although with like Spotify and Apple Music and all of that, it kind of gets tricky because they don't like to share fan data with artists or only share like a limited amount of data.
Or very general, just like not very specific data. So it very much varies on your pre-save platform that you use. So make sure to look into all the nitty-gritty details on those.
And then also, your email list is super important. I know that we are kind of moving away from email. Like, everyone kind of thinks email is lame now. But I feel like this is still one of the most popular ways that artists can communicate with their fans. I personally think it's super cool to get a newsletter still from my favorite artists because it makes the fans feel seen. And like sometimes artists will write little messages to their fans that only people who are signed up for their newsletter get.
Oh, yeah. I loved how Lorde, I feel like she was one of the first people to create the newsletter super personalized. So it like looked like she had written this whole long note to her fans. I think she started it like a year and a half ago, almost like a journal looking type thing. And that was so cool. So it really felt like you were kind of getting this exclusive thing and not just a piece of junk email. But I love emails too. Like, I think that it's almost underrated now because the thing is, think about and tell me that you still don't have that email address you had when you were like 12 years old. Like, everyone keeps their same emails mostly, you know? I think it's a great way, no matter what new platform comes out, you're still going to be able to reach them. Another way that you can collect fan data is through a fan club. So these are for a little bit more of your super fans, the people who are already probably following you on social media who you know will quickly convert to some fan data that you can put in your pocket and hopefully some money too. So with fan clubs, a lot of them, they require, you know, name, email, phone number. It really depends on the platform you're using on exactly what data they're collecting for you. But this is a great place to host all of your data and to hopefully bring it all together. So again, it really depends on which platform you use. So with the band, we have a awesome fan club platform, if I can say so myself. And we make sure that every single piece of data, every post, every comment, every number that the fan is putting in the platform, the artist has access to. And so I would again recommend, if any of these platforms you're looking into don't give you your fan data, don't use them, because that is the most important part of why you're trying to communicate with your fan, is you're trying to get that direct connection. And so make sure that with all of your fan data, you are keeping it in one place and it does not get lost. Yes, maybe an email or two will bounce every now and then, but usually your different platforms you're using, whether that's an email list or whatever, will keep track of that. And another big part of fan clubs is it makes your fans feel valued. And so what better way to ask them to give you their data than to make them, you know, feel valued as a fan. Another way, and I feel like this is really an underrated way that a lot of artists don't use their data, is merch store sales. And so a lot of artist teams have trouble kind of linking and putting all of this data together in one place. But with your merch sales, you have those emails. So if you can see, oh, this person ordered merch, but they're also on my newsletter, like, they're probably a super fan. They're gonna buy tickets to the show. They're gonna wanna be in your fan club. So make sure that you are keeping track of all those merch store sales and putting those in one place and not just kind of letting them fall off to the wayside.
I remember a really cool way that 5 Seconds of Summer used their data from their merch sales. When they announced their first single off of 5 Sauce 5, their most recent album, they got addresses of fans who had ordered merch from their store before, and they sent them this like random cryptic magazine, and in the middle of the magazine it said "Complete Mess," like March, whatever the date was, that the single was, and that's how they announced their single. You can utilize all of this fan data in really cool and unique ways for like marketing or even like announcements in that way.
And the thing is you can't surprise fans unless you already have the data. So it's not like you can say, oh, I want to do a surprise, send me all your fan info. That is a nice thing about collecting all this data before, is that you can do these surprise things or send your top 10 most engaged fans a thank you note. You know, it doesn't have to be anything super big. And then last but not least, for collecting data, you have ticket sales. So really depends on what size artist you are, what venue you're playing, what promoter you're working with, on if you actually get this data, but make sure to always ask for this data. Again, a lot of times times you might not get it, but there are a few times, especially like with some more independent venues, that you are going to be able to collect this data, and that is going to be super valuable, not only for you to kind of merge with all the other data streams you have, but to use to book future shows. So you can, tell a promoter, tell an agent, oh, hey, I sold 500 tickets in Atlanta. That is a really big thing that you're going to want to keep track of and show for almost your future resume when you're pitching yourself. So those are all of the types of fan data. If we missed one, comment below, let us know. And also, if you have any questions about how does fan data work more in depth, or what are some platforms that we recommend for each of these categories, please reach out. support@withtheband.co is our email, and we are happy to answer any and all of your questions. And if you're interested in a fan club, we can help you there too. But yeah, thanks for joining us today, and we hope you have fun and get your little nerdy glasses on to collect all your fan data. See y'all later.